Welcome to Lesson 3, Variables, Topic 4. There are many scenarios where random values are required, such as in games and in simulations. So the circuit playground is no different. So let's get to it. So because it's a piece of information, let's go ahead and create a variable for it. So we'll say int, num, let's say number. And we'll just set it equal to nothing. So it requires actually two steps to produce a random number. The first thing is this idea of a random seed. Now, the reason we need this is that random numbers produced using the Arduino aren't truly random. They're random the first time you run it, but then you keep getting the same random numbers over and over again. So is it really random? Not really. So we can use this thing called a random seed. It has to do with the algorithm that produces the random numbers. So by putting a seed, a key value here, it allows for the algorithm to produce a new set of random numbers each time. So what's interesting here is that we can use a value from, let's say, the circuit playground's light sensor. Again, it just needs some value to start the random number generation. So that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to take whatever value the light sensor gives us and use it as that key value to start the generation of the random numbers. All right, once we've done that, then the next step is actually pretty easy. So let's say random number 0 to, let's say 0 to 10. And let's go ahead and display this using the serial print, the serial monitor. So let's say serial print line, and let's do number. And let's give ourselves a little bit of delay, just so we can actually look at the numbers and see what's going on. So let's say we produce a number every second. All right, so let me go ahead and pull out the serial monitor for when it's actually done uploading. All right, so you can see here we're getting 5, 9, 8, 3. You know, they're all different random numbers from 0 to 9. And let's run it again just to prove to you that it is a different set of numbers. So if you realize, and I'm going to clear the output. So we got 5, 6, 1, 0. You know, not the same numbers that we originally had. Again, if we had taken this out, what you would see would be the exact same numbers. So this part's important, the random seed. All right, so that's pretty much it. That's what random numbers are. But what I want to do with this is I want to give you a little bit more of a flavor as to what we can do with this. So we've learned about using circuit playground set pixel color to turn on one of the pixels. So let's do that for let's use the random numbers for that purpose. And we'll simply say 255. Actually, let's use a different color. Say 255, 0, 255. And that's magenta. And let's do a clear pixels. Okay. So what you're seeing here is us using the random number, which we know is somewhere between 0 and 10, as our position value for the set pixel color. I'm also going to reduce this down to, let's say, maybe 100, so it happens a lot quicker. And I think you'll enjoy it. It's going to be just, you know, the number popping up and moving the circuit playground neopixel around. And there you go. You notice it's kind of chaotic. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just random positions. Which, you know, in some cases you could use it as a light show. You know, again, you can use it as a simulation. Whatever it is, your purpose for it. But there you go. let's take another stab at this. Now that we saw we could produce random numbers, why don't we do random numbers and random colors? So let's do R, G, and B for variables to represent how much red, green, and blue we're looking for. So let's do the same thing here. We'll do R equals random, and let's say 0 to 256. So we actually get to 255. And if you're curious, this is something called non-inclusive. So many languages follow this pattern, that when you produce random number, the last number is not inclusive. So if you want a 255, you got to go up to 256 in the random generation range. Alright, so just so you know why I put 256 instead of 255, because it doesn't actually include the 250. It's exclusive of that number. Let's take that space out, no need for it. Let me just do a copy and paste on that one. Save myself a little bit of typing. Okay, so now instead of doing 255 here, let's do R, the G, and the B. Now I will put a little space here so you kind of see the separation between them. The loop is going to produce a random number from 0 to 255 for the red, a different random number for the green, and a different random number for the blue. Whatever random numbers we produce here are the numbers we're going to use here. And since it's part of a loop, we're going to see a different color for each time. And I'm also going to slow this down a little bit so we can appreciate a little bit more. So let's say 1/4 of a second, 250. So you're going to see a random position and random color. And there you go. So you could definitely see some violets, some blues, some greens, various shades of it. Again, because we don't know what numbers are actually being produced from the random numbers. I guess we could print them out. But the idea is that you know you're getting a random number for the amount of red, green, and blue. All right, so let's go back to our presentation and let's review what we've done. So in this lesson 3, we explored how to produce random values, which is a 2-step process. We required the random seed to ensure we get a random value each time, and then the actual production of the random number. There's many applications. In this video, we saw how we could use the random numbers to randomize the position of the neopixel as well as the color produced. So hopefully you could find use for this in your future project. Enjoy.